Welcome to Public House, intimate conversations with people making a difference in the Hudson Valley. And now, from Paula's Public House in Poughkeepsie, New York, here's Paula Young.
Hi everyone, I'm Paula Young. Welcome to this episode of Public House, and I have a very interesting and special guest, Anthony Serino. How do you do, Anthony?
Best day of my life. How are you, Paula?
Well, every day is the best day of my life. So here's why I've got you here. You are a habit modification expert, which means that if I have a bad habit, you take me through a guided meditation process to help me break that habit. I actually have sat on his chair and he has helped me. This is a person-to-person actual event that happened a couple of weeks ago. Welcome. Talk to me about what you do, how you do it, why it works, and so on.
Absolutely. So there's really only two reasons why people would come to see me, and that's either they're doing something that they know they shouldn't be doing and they do it anyways despite telling themselves not to, or
like eating a cookie.
Like eating a cookie.
Over and over too many.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or having negative thoughts or anything like that. Or they're not doing something they tell themselves they should be doing, and they don't do it despite telling themselves to do it. So really everything comes down to a habit, right? And that's why I bill myself as a habit modification expert. And what I do is I use modalities like hypnosis and NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, things that are like guided meditation and visualization techniques to help people work with that part of their brain that is actually responsible for running those habits.
Okay, so I have, we had discussed, I called your office and I said, hi, Mr. Serino, you do hypnosis, and then you explained what you do, and you said it's one of the things I use. And then I said, are you going to make me bark like a dog? And you said no, because we all think about, we see in the movies where, you're getting sleepy now. And so when I came to see you, I was understandably a bit nervous, but it was not hypnosis I was completely aware and awake of where I was. But through the meditation and whatever magic you did, because my eyes were closed, you have helped me. I've noticed a lightness where there was not. I've noticed minor but important. They're like little changes, but they're big, like little cogs clicked to change the way I was thinking. Is that how it happens?
Yeah, so essentially, and I'll touch first on the objection a lot of people have because they've seen stage shows, they've seen the movies, they've seen the TV shows where hypnosis is put in a certain type of... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And people always ask, are you going to make me bark like a dog? And I say, I charge extra for that.
Like a chicken.
Yeah, I charge extra for that. But in all seriousness, it's all about expectation. It's all about context. So I am a board certified hypnotist. I do use hypnosis, but all within the context of what someone's there for. So people go to a stage show to be entertained or to be part of the entertainment. That's the expectation, that's the context. When someone comes in my office, or I work with a lot of people via Zoom, the context is change or transformation. So we'll only be able to do whatever it is in the confines of that context. So no one would do anything they wouldn't normally do or something outside of that expectation.
Right, because I was completely aware at all moments, and you had told me that I would be. So I presume there are so many habits that people have, from minor habits like, touching their hair all day or, overeating, to major habits like gambling addictions and drug addictions. Now, when you work with people, are there different manners, different kind of levels, or is it just repeating the same treatment?
So almost 95% research shows that 95% nearly of everything we do, think, and feel on a daily basis is a habit, is habituated by our brain. Specifically, a part of our brain called the basal ganglia, which is the oldest part of our brain.
Is that the lizard brain?
Yeah, the lizard or reptilian part of our brain. It's called the oldest part of our brain because that was the first to develop in evolution, right? Now we have our prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for our conscious analytical thought, like how we're talking now and people are watching. Those are two separate parts. Our habits are run by that basal ganglia, or the reptilian part of our brain. Hypnosis allows us to work directly with that to turn our focus internally instead of externally.
So taking us backwards to perhaps the first time that cookie tasted good and made us feel better after we got scolded by our parent. And so then we had a cookie, but we felt better. So as we reward children with sweets, oh, be a good baby, I'll give you some ice cream. So it takes us back to that original moment, perhaps?
So with hypnosis, we can go back in time to see when our brain developed that habit, and usually it was for a reason, right? Like you just mentioned, maybe it was eating for comfort, or eating for reward, or any number of things why we would eat something and then have an emotion attached to it. Our brain at some point, usually as a kid, said, hey, eating that cookie made Paula feel good, right? We need to make her feel good again in the future. So it creates that habit and that pattern of eating that cookie.
And the dependency of, if I want to feel better, I'm going to eat a cookie.
Exactly.
Although as an adult, that cookie might be replaced with 4 pizzas, a hit of heroin, or a 5th of scotch, right?
Yeah.
And so those are the way the habits grow.
Of course.
So now the average Joe or Joanne who comes to you with a situation, how many times do they need to see you in order to really get a good handle on it? I mean, I've been to you once. I felt a sort of not immediate, but within a couple of days, like I said, a lightning, something lifted. Am I unusual or am I typical?
No, absolutely. It varies from person to person. It's such a individual process that I tailor to the client that I'm working with. There are certain things. Let's say I work with people to quit smoking or become non-smokers. They could have been smoking for 30 years, 3 packs a day. I know confidently in 60 to 90 minutes I can get them to be a non-smoker. Now, if we're talking about someone who's battling with anxiety or emotional negative aspects like thoughts and things like that, it's multifaceted. There's relationship aspects, there's career aspects, everything that we need to work on that will usually require multiple sessions. You know, some people I work with them on an ongoing basis, say, 4, 5, 6 different times. So
right, and now today with our social distancing, because you are basically across the room from me, you are doing this more on Zoom.
Yeah.
Now, does that provide you a platform in which you can actually connect with people also?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I found through the process is that it's going to be most effective where someone is the most comfortable, right? So when someone comes in my office and they don't know what hypnosis is really, and they're like, oh, I'm going to have my eyes closed and be in this state of hypnosis that he's talking about, that can create a barrier for that comfort level. So what I found is actually working with people online, when they're in the comfort of their own home or office, they feel a lot more comfortable with that screening between us, and it's just as effective, if not even more effective. It also allows me, I work with people all over the world. I have clients in Australia, Italy, on the other side, West Coast. So it's really been allowing me to expand my reach, which is cool.
Now, you're based in Dutchess County in
Hyde Park,
New York. Do you have a website?
Yeah, it's theanthonyserino.com, and it sounds a little pretentious.
The Anthony Serino.
It's a little pretentious, but they didn't have Anthony Serino available, so.
So it's TAS.
Yeah.
theanthonyserino.com.
Yeah.
Okay, versus the other Anthony Serino.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's he? Is it an expensive thing that you do?
It can be. I charge per result. I don't charge per session. So if I tell someone that I can help them quit smoking, it's one price. If they want to eliminate their anxiety, it's another price. If someone's trying to make more money in their business and eliminate those limiting beliefs, it's another price. It all starts with a strategy call. It's free. I talk to people. We figure out a plan for their success instead of just kind of throwing boilerplate cookie cutter things out.
But to be honest, I think a pack of cigarettes costs what today?
Like $10 to $15.
I think it's more than that. I think they're like close to $20. And there is no price to be able to say, I've stopped smoking. There is no price that can say, I've stopped drinking. So no matter what it costs, it's worth it.
Exactly.
If you can take away a negative habit that keeps you from living your best life and being your bestest, healthiest self, which I think today, especially in the time of COVID, we are realizing how precious our health is. I think a lot of people walk around for a long time taking everything for granted, and that's over. So what got you interested in this? I mean, you were like, wait a minute, is it a personal issue that you had that you went to see someone and you said, I like this, I want to learn about it?
Yeah, so back in 2016, I was much heavier than I am now. I'm 6'5", but I was well over 300 pounds. And I was battling with weight my whole entire life. And I was willing to try anything, even go see a hypnotist.
You weren't battling with weight when you were little. You were cute. Only when you didn't like it anymore were you battling with it.
Exactly. But I was well over 300 pounds, and long story short, I was willing to try anything. I went to go see a hypnotist, and after one session, within 6 months, I lost 80 pounds.
Wow.
And before that, I was super skeptical, but then when that happened, there was no arguing it, and I've kept it off ever since. And I knew there was something to it, so I did what any reasonable person would do, and I spent thousands of dollars and countless hours to learn about it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But it's a good thing that you have, because I think that I see now a lot of people are, you go to the bookstore, the self-help section's got to be the biggest section. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of people are realizing that they need to help themselves, and it has to be an active commitment versus a silver bullet. Yeah. You know, I watch a commercial, lose weight, take one pill and you'll never have to, you know, but it's all nonsense. So this is an interactive process.
Absolutely. And what I would encourage people is, a lot of people have done it backwards, and I did it backwards, right? I focused on what I thought I had to do and what I had to have in order to be healthy, in order to be fit, in order to be the person I wanted to be. But here's the thing, if you're not that type of person, if you're not already being healthy, if you're not being consistent, you're never going to develop the habits or have the things that would get you there.
That's right.
So it's more about who you're being, your identity,
right,
which then you can, flip your habits to something that serves you better.
It's interesting. It reminds me of two expressions: be a human being, not a human doing, and that we don't have a soul, we are a soul, we have a body, right?
Yeah.
And so if you can, with your work, help people be who they are and develop a better soul, it's a huge home run for you, and most especially for your clients.
Absolutely. And for the example of a smoker, right? My goal is not to make them a smoker who quit smoking, it's to make them a non-smoker.
A non-smoker.
And it's funny because I've built myself as a habit modification expert, we have to dissect the word habit, and really habit originates the word from to mean garment or clothing. So very literally, habits fit us, they fit our identity.
And
right?
especially if you're a nun, because that's who used to wear habits.
Exactly. So it's very literally something our identity wears. Right. So we have to switch the part that's wearing those habits.
We have to take that nun outfit off and put on the outfit of a healthy non-smoker. Yeah. I don't have much more time. I want to thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Paula.
This is interesting. It's very interesting. I hope all of you, some of you, those who need it, pick up the phone and give Anthony a call and see what it is he does. Thank you, Anthony Serino, for coming in.
Thanks, Paula. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Learn something new every day. I certainly did. And I will say that, honestly, I did gain something from attending this habit modification class. Thank you very much. We'll see you again on Public House. Thanks. It's really true. Hi, I'm Paula Young, and I'm the proprietor here of Paula's Public House. Do join me for good food, good cheer, and good fellowship. We are here, we have fun, and we'd love to have you be a part of it. Come on down.